Let's take a look at the heroic culture, the Hobbits of the Shire, and place a spotlight on them. Hobbits are gentle country folk living the simple life and tending to not meddle in the affairs of others, preferring to stay within the boundaries of the Shire, the well-tended lands that is their home. Few outside the Shire know where it is, and the Shire folk are all too happy to keep it that way. There are those, especially of Tookish blood, who look past the boundaries of the Brandywine or the White Hills and dream of adventure and seek lost tales throughout Eriador. Merry, cheerful, and the affinity for good food, drink, and company make hobbits great companions for any adventuring company. Hobbits possess an uncanny sense to resist material wealth that other cultures, chiefly the dwarves, succumb to. A hobbit's cultural blessing, Hobbit Sense, grants the hero of the Shire favorite wisdom rolls, plus an extra 1d on all the shadow tests made to resist any effect that greed may come upon them. Hobbits tend to choose, when the need arises, short swords and bows, when needing to hunt for coney for supper or drive away any encroaching wild beast that invades the Shire itself. They can choose other weapons of war such as axes, cudgels, daggers, short and regular-sized spears, but nothing larger like great bows or great shields. Hobbits may live a simple life, but it is one of comfort and the good things that life has to offer. Food, fine ales, and of course pipeweed are all in abundance. Therefore, Hobbits' standard of living is quite good, common as they like to call it in other cultures. What hobbits lack in physical stature and prowess, they most definitely make up in the unwavering strength of heart and of quick-wittedness. Expect a hero with lots of hope during an adventure, and their keen senses and quick bravery makes them harder to hit than most taller folk. Hobbits are hope batteries, owing to their very high heart scores, and can replenish hope faster than most other cultures. So a player can be less cautious and spend more hope liberally. Hobbit tweens are mischievous critters, but also respectful of elders and of traditions. They've honed the skill of not being seen as easily, and showing great affinity for dressing nicely and speaking politely to others, especially elders. They also love games of chance and of riddles. Hobbits start out with high stealth, courtesy, and riddle scores for these skills. Depending on how a player wants to present their hobbit to the world, one would find them either eager and fair-spoken, faithful, honorable, inquisitive, keen-eyed, merry, or rustic. There isn't a specific language that the hobbits speak nowadays amongst themselves, sticking to the common tongue. What was their own had been lost now to time. Names are short for the first, and family names sound more heroic and high-standing, at least to the hobbits. Family genealogy is of high importance to those in the Shire, tracing back lineages long before the Shire itself existed. When hobbits have adventured for more than a season or two, their virtues start to bloom for others to see. Not all have these in mind, except for maybe the most adventurous ones. The art of disappearing is an uncanny trait that seemingly makes them vanish without a trace, making them excellent scouts, spies, or mischievous burglars. Hobbits can show great bravery, and as long as they're not miserable by a long adventure, weary from fatigue, or succumb from a hindering wound, they are inspired on all rolls made, adding an extra 1d when spending a point of hope. Taking advantage of one's small stature, hobbits have honed their skill and make it even harder to get hit by taller folk. Hobbit heroes can enjoy a +2 to their parry score from taller folk attacks, and can even assume a rearward stance even when there's only one other in a close combat stance during combat. Hobbits love throwing rocks, and it's a great pastime, and they have honed their marksmanship quite well before they're adults. Sure to the mark, they're favored on all ranged attacks, but with throwing stone especially, they get a piercing blow on a Gandalf ruin with an injury rating of a 12. As stated earlier, hobbits are great companions and can lift even the most darkest of spirits. 3 as company provides a bonus to the party, giving an extra 1 point for the fellowship pool, and the player hero that's playing a hobbit can choose a second fellowship focus. Hobbits are hardy folk and tough as tree roots. When wounded, the hobbit hero rolls 2 feat die instead of 1 and chooses the better result when figuring out the wound severity. Hobbits also heal real fast, doubling their strength score when resting. And this is the spotlight on the Hobbit of the Shire culture for the One Ring role-playing game. If you've liked this video, please like it, share it, subscribe, and comment on the channel below. I'm Ryan of the North, and thank you for watching.